Hey there, Mike Robbins here. How do you feel about asking for help? Most people I know, myself included, love to help other people, but have a hard time asking for the help that we need. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about why it's hard to ask for help, and then some of the specific things we can do to move past that resistance to get the help that we actually need and deserve. So why is it hard to ask for help? Well, there's a couple reasons. First of all, we're afraid that we'll get judged, right? If you ask for help, people might judge you. It might seem weak. It might seem we've somehow bought into this notion that we're supposed to do everything ourselves or be able to figure things out ourselves, or we're not supposed to admit that we can't do certain things. And look, that's happened to all of us, so it's a legitimate concern. The second reason we don't ask for help is because we're afraid we'll get rejected, right? I could ask you for help and you could say no, which, getting rejected as well as getting judged, two of my least favorite experiences as a human being. Another reason we don't ask for help is because sometimes people might say yes when they really mean no, and then they're resentful, right? Especially if you're in a leadership position or if you have some kind of authority, you ask for help, someone says yes, they help you, but they really want to say no, and then they're mad and they're annoyed and they're resentful about it, and we don't know that, and that can be awkward. And then another reason, especially these days, is people are burdened. People have a lot going on. It's like, hey, I know you're carrying 10 bags, but can you carry this 11th bag for me? I mean, it seems rude. So we're sensitive and mindful of the fact that people have a lot going on. Understandable on all fronts that it's hard, it's challenging, it's vulnerable to ask for help, right? It's risky. We could get judged, we could get rejected. People could say yes when they mean no and ultimately be bitter or resentful. People might say yes, but then be burdened, and all the things that make it hard. So it's difficult. It's also an acknowledgement of like, we can't do everything ourselves. We do have some limitations, which we all know is true, but we've bought into this notion that we think we have to do everything ourselves. But if you can start to ask for help, even if it's scary, even if it's uncomfortable, a few specific things will happen. First of all, you'll get more help. The answer is always no if you don't ask. So if you ask for help, you might actually get some help in response. People can't read your mind, even if they know you really well. My wife, Michelle, and I have been together for almost 25 years. I know a lot of things about her. I can anticipate a lot of things. I can sense what's going on with her intuitively at times, but I cannot read her mind, just like she can't read mine. So I don't know if she needs help unless she asks me. You could work really closely with someone, have a great relationship with them, but if you don't let them know that you need help, they're not going to know that. And especially in the hybrid virtual way in which we work a lot these days, we're not around each other as much, so we really can't tell. The second thing is if we start to ask for help a little more courageously, again, even if it's uncomfortable or challenging for us to do, we will model it for the people around us. If you happen to be in a leadership position or in an influential position, especially, it's even more significant, even more impactful. But regardless of the role that you find yourself in, you asking for help makes it safer and easier for other people to ask for help. They go, oh, he asked for help, she asked for help. I guess that means we can ask for help. And then the third reason that it's super important for us to ask for help is that when we are courageous enough to actually ask for help, and yes, it's vulnerable, and yes, it can be tricky, but when we put ourselves out there and ask for help, not only might we get some help, not only might we model it for the people around us, we actually give other people the opportunity to do something that most people love, which is what? Help. So it actually benefits them while it benefits us. And then if I ask you for help and you help me, not only can I be grateful for the help and gracious in receiving it, I'm more likely to want to return the favor. So it creates an environment of generosity. Some of the best teams that I work with ask for and offer help all the time. They're leveraging each other's strengths. So some specific things that you can do if you find asking for help challenging. Some people don't. Most of us do. If it's not challenging for you, that's awesome. Be super grateful and help inspire the people around you to ask for help. But even if it's relatively easy in general for you to ask for help, there are some people in some situations and some topics and some tasks that most of us find challenging. And for a lot of us, it's just generally speaking hard to ask for help. So what can you do? First of all, identify the help that you want or need. Secondly, be honest with yourself about whatever resistance might be coming up for you to ask. I should know how to do this myself, or I feel scared or insecure, or I'm worried they're going to judge me or reject me, or no one around me asks for help, or everyone seems to have things figured out, whatever it is, just like be real with yourself about it. Thirdly, think about some of the people around you who you might be able to ask. You don't have to ask them, but just start to speculate, start to brainstorm. Who could I ask for help for this? Sometimes we don't know who we could ask. Sometimes no one on the team has that particular skill or ability, or no one in our life. So that can be a barrier for us to do it. But start to think about who we could ask for help. And then see if you can actually get some help asking for help, as weird as that sounds. There's usually some people in our lives that we feel safe enough with, or at least one person that we know that seems good at asking for help. What if you ask them to help you get more help? As weird as that sounds, that's a little mini way of starting to ask for help. You're sort of asking for help about getting more help. And then the fifth thing is just go ahead and do it. See what happens. Feel the fear and do it anyway, right? What did Wayne Gretzky say? I missed 100% of the shots I never took, right? The answer is always no if you don't ask, as I said. So if we don't ask for it, we can't find out. Start with safer people. Start with people you feel like are less likely to judge you, reject you, inauthentically say yes when they mean no, or whatever. And as you start to build the muscle, it'll start to get easier. Asking for help can be tricky. It does take a lot of courage. It can be vulnerable, but when we do it, it's a benefit to us. It's a benefit to the people around us. And it's the embodiment of remembering that we truly are all in this together. Thanks for watching. Feel free to share this video with anyone around you who you want to ask for help from, or want them to ask for help more. And we love it when you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And feel free to stay in touch with me at mike-robbins.com.